Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to share with you an exciting new addition to Google Classroom. So I'm going to go into my Gmail right here. That is just the link for our login. So when we see this banner, we know that we are in the school Google account. And I'm going to go into Classroom to show you this new addition to Classroom. So I'm going to go into this student practice class just to show you. I'm going to go into classwork. And you can see that I have this assignment right here. And it has some steps with a link to a story. So in this lesson, the students would be reading the story and then they would have a writing project attached to it. Right here, you can also always go and edit your assignments. So you can always go back and you have the right to do that. But what I wanted to show you is that there's now a rubric for an option. So instead of just points, you can do a rubric. So I'll show you the rubric that I created for this item. I did an exciting, exceeding, proficient, progressing, and beginning. And then you can see that it goes to a 4, 3, 2, 1 rubric. It's a pretty standard rubric. So what I'll show you now is how to create your own rubrics for your assignments. So I'll go back to the beginning to post some work. So I'm going to create an assignment. And just for the purpose of demonstration, let's just say I wanted them to write a paragraph. You, of course, could add more details. You could add the standard. You could add all kinds of things to your descriptions and activities and instructions for what you wanted the students to do. So here's my assignment. You'll see that the default is still that I'm giving it out of 100 points. So remember that you can change that to any number that you want. I'm going to make it a standard 4-point rubric. You could change it to whatever rubric that you would like. I'm going to change the topic. I'm going to change the due date. Let's say till next Friday, for example. And then I'm going to create my rubric right here. So I'll click rubric and I'm going to create it. Once I've created one rubric, I can reuse a rubric. So I could reuse the one that I just showed you, or I could import one from Sheets. So Sheets is something that's very similar to Excel. So if you do not have one already created there, then, or the one that you've created before, you'll have to create a new rubric. So I'll create one just to show you the steps and how you would do it. So here, I'm just going to say that it's for paragraph or constructive response, maybe something like that. So in this manner, I'll just write paragraph for now. And maybe constructed response. Then I can type that I want this to be my 4. And I could call this exceeding. You could type in your description of what you think an exceeding needs to have. So this description would be important for our students so that they would be able to know what they need to do to have a 4. Forgot an E there. Then this plus right here is going to add a level over here. So obviously this one's going to be 3 points. We can call that progressing. or proficient, and a description of that. This would be the progressing. And then this one we can call beginning, and so on. So once you have all of these details and titles and points filled out, you'll see that the points are right here. And then I can just save my rubric. And you'll see that I'm just double checking that I have the topic, the instructions. I could add a link here if I wanted to. I have the points, who it's for. I could, if I wanted to differentiate my instruction, I could include exactly which students. So right now it has to all students, but you could say that you only want certain students here. You could also say that you wanted it for other classes. So I'm going to assign this now to this classroom and to all of these students. And then you'll see it's right here under the topic that I gave it. It's also going to show in my stream, and it will show that this new assignment is a rubric question. So you'll be able to see which ones are rubrics and which ones are points. So I'm hoping that this is just as exciting for you as it was for me, and that you will have lots of rubrics that you're creating in Google Classroom. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.